Yo, people, yo, what's good? Let's get straight into it. So, I just got into. I said I was gonna be back in January. I said I was gonna be back around January 5th, January 10th. However, it's January 2nd. Market was extremely bearish. We printed a perfect fair value gap in the 3 to 4 p.m. silver bullet session time. So I got in. I just realized I've already smashed TP on Euro USD. USD. So I'm loving life. I was tried to record a bit faster. I can show proof of entry and profits on my dashboard in a second. We were down about 7% on the funded account. This would have made about, I entered 0.5%. This is a 2.68 risk to reward trade. So this would have made about 1.25%. So this would have brought us from 7% to 5.75% down. Then if GU does hit, we will be up another 2%. But GU's moving a bit slower than EU. EU's already smashed TP. Obviously, like I said, we were just in extreme bearish momentum. We had a bearish fair value gap form between these periods of time. I didn't get in on a market execution because I was out at the shop. I got back just in time to see this happen at this doji, so I got in right here whilst this candlestick was pushing off of the fair value gap. So I got my entry here. No limit order market execution. Same with GU. However, GU is worrying me a little bit. It's not really pushing too much, but even if we lose this GU trade, because Euro USD has already hit take profit so quickly, we will still be up on the day because I've only risked 0.5% on this. So if this goes negative, we'll be up 0.75 on the day. That's that. I'm back. Like I said, it is January and I'm back. So I have no idea what part of the video this is going to be in. I have no idea if I'm going to upload December's video separately or if December and January are going to be mashed up. So we might already be 25 minutes into a video. This might be a fresh video. But man, I'm just trying to lock in, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to lock in, bro. So that's what happened today, the 2nd of January 2025, off to a flying start, a wonderful start for the year. And if this is anything if this is anything like how the rest of the year is going to be, we in for a good year. I've also decided to 2025 I'm kicking a lot of habits. I had a lot of brain fog from a lot of just bad habits I had. Sleeping late, just drinking every once in a while here and there, not waking up for the session opens, missing perfect trades, then coming to trade the next day, getting a loss. Obviously you guys know how it works with trading, man. If you're not consistent, you might take a loss on Monday and then you don't trade Tuesday because, for example, you don't wake up in time for the session open, and then you miss a perfect setup that you would have entered. The exact same setup that you lost on Monday, you would have won on Tuesday, and then you come back on Wednesday and you hit another loss, and now you're just negative on the charts and on your trading. But if you were consistent, you would have been break even or profitable. So I'm just making sure I'm there every single day, every single session, every single trading session I can be there for. I'm going to be there for. My aim is to trade London Open silver bullet, so 8 to 9 a.m. I believe that is, or 9 to 10 a.m. I haven't traded that in a while, so I need to rejig my mind, rejog my memory of the timings. So London session silver bullet, I want to trade. New York session open, I want to trade potentially, and if New York session open doesn't provide me an entry, I will just stick to my 3 to 4 p.m. Silver bullet entry model. But that's it for me. I'm out and blessed. Yo, so I'm literally just editing episode 3. When you see this is episode 4. Why did I even say that? That had no relevance. I was just explaining what I'm doing right now. However, I said I would show the proof of entry for Euro USD and GBP USD just because I know it's going to get to a point where eventually later down the line when I have gone clear from trading, people are going to be like, he hasn't shown entries here and here, his whole thing's a lie. So I'm going to just get rid of that from the jump, just show from the start that I actually am entering these trades. As you can see, Euro USD hit top take profit. As I told you, it's a 5k Rocket 21 funded account, as you can see here. So I can put outcome on Euro USD as a win, Euro USD, that is 53 pips that we just won, so I will put 53. This is exactly how I log my trades. P&L 1.25%, I believe we made from that. Good plus bad loss, good win. Oh no, I don't need to fill that out. I have good slash bad loss. The reason I have good slash bad loss is because you can take a loss and it still be a good loss. A good loss, did you follow all of your risk management strategy? Did you follow your trading plan? Did everything you wanted to see occur? And then did you lose the trade even though you checked all of those other check boxes? That's a good loss. And you should know when something's a good loss or a bad loss, because you don't want to take good losses, and think you're making a mistake and then change things, because then it'll change your consistency and change your win rate and blah blah blah. I got that rule and that for my trading plan from Umar Ashraf. So shout out Umar Ashraf. One day, man, will link you and them things there. But so yeah, as I told you, this was Euro USD 2.68 risk to reward. Can show you here trade history. We took a bunch of losses in December, like I was saying to you. As you can see, our balance on our account is 4,702. And originally a 5k account. So you do the maths. That's what we're down right now. That's about 5.5%. But as I just told you, you can see here Euro USD 2nd of the 1st 2025 at 403. Just to prove I took this win, as you can see here. And now I'm currently just waiting on GU to essentially make the same move. However, we're moving a lot slower. I think with GU, I put my TP. Yeah, there's not really much recent price action. I put my TP down at this, or sell side liquidity, which is 4.39R. However, I do think with this trade I will go. Oh, this is the start. Sorry, other video just finished exporting. I do think I will put an alert for 2RR and go break even at 2RR, just because I'm not as confident in GBP USD tanking all the way down to this sell side liquidity as I was with Euro USD, because as soon as I entered Euro USD we tanked. But I don't believe that same thing will occur, so let me just do that right now as I'm talking to you. Let me put an alert, go BE on trade, simple create, and then I will go break even. I probably might also close 50% if we do reach here, and let the full volume tank all the way down to, or let the rest of the trade tank all the way down to full volume sell side liquidity. But that's that. I was just showing proof of entry, proof of exit, proof of take profit, proof, as I know I'm gonna have to at one point in my life once I do get where I want to be. So I just want to keep it fully transparent from the jump, so no one can come on my thing by the end of 2025, once I am making decent money, and say, oh, he's do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, manners. And I'll catch you in the next clip when I take another trade. I might not. What day is it today? It is Thursday. I'm probably done for the week. Probably won't take another trade until next Monday. Just because we're up on the week. Even if this hits or stop loss, we will still be up, because this made me 1.25. This will lose me 0.5 if it hits stop loss, which means we'll still be up 0.75. Yeah, I'm not going to trade till Monday. Catch you in a bit.
Yo, people, what are you telling me? Basically, bear with me. I am tired. I didn't get to sleep until like 5 a.m. Went to training at 9:30, and now I haven't been to sleep yet. Like, I had a couple hours of sleep last night. Like I said, like 3 hours of sleep. Then I got up at 8:45, dragged myself to training. Still had a mad good session, but now I came back to trade. As you can see, yesterday I did say that I won't be trading until Monday. However, this opportunity looks very good. I've seen that we did lose GBP USD last night. However, we were still up on the day because of we won Euro USD, as you can see here. However, sorry if you can hear kids in the background. There's kids outside my balcony. Let me show you. There's kids over there, out there, and they just want to shut their mouth, and it's kind of pissing me off, but it is what it is. Kids are kids, right? Essentially, right now, what I'm hoping to occur is we've had London highs up here. We've opened up into New York session. I don't really consider New York session open until at least 2 p.m. Something I got from Urimi University. Shout out Urimi, because a lot of stuff happens between A lot of fake outs can happen between 1:30, which is official New York Open, and 2 p.m. A lot of fake outs happen within that first 30 minutes. You'll get the first, you might get a push down, a push of London highs, and then, or a sweep of London highs. So then at least once you've come at 2 p.m., you can say, cool, we've swept out. With the knowledge that New York did start at 1:30, you have the knowledge of that, but you don't make an action until 2 p.m. Because you can have this liquidity sweep. Then you might push down, but then we'll come back into, for example, a demand zone, supply zone, blah blah blah, push down. As you can see right now, we have London highs here. We've come down. I was going to initially say this demand zone here. However, this demand zone is invalidated because we pushed down, or supply zone, sorry. We pushed down, came back into it, pushed off, came back into it, pushed off. So what I would be looking for now is, you might think this isn't a demand zone. However, what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for people to believe, I'm not demand, I keep saying demand and supply. I don't really change it. In my head, I just say demand, supply. For even if it is a buy or a sell, I don't really care because I know how to utilize it. But this is a supply zone. What I'm waiting for is a potential, if we don't push up above here to sweep out London session highs and then sell off, I'm looking for a sweep of this demand zone. So what I'm essentially looking for was other people to believe that this was a nice demand zone to get into. Basically put their TP here, or their entry here, their stop loss above this point, try and take profits down here, or just essentially the TP or the entry and the stop loss is what matters. I'm looking essentially to wait for this either to get taken out, us to come back down, come back into the area that we will form over here, and then get my entry from there. Or best case scenario, what would make me more confident for the trade, and I would like to see, would be number one, this to get swept out, us to come around here, sweep out London session highs, come down, then find an entry point within this area, stops above the sweep all the way down, and then TP all the way down to London session lows, even Asian session lows, or maybe even back down to where my overall TP was yesterday, where we hit TP over here, as you can see. However, that would be 15.8. I would obviously take profits at half of my position off at 3 RR, but this is what I'm looking for today. As you can see, we've come into the supply zone. However, like I said, I'm waiting for this supply zone to fail because I noticed that this is a point that a lot of other people will want to get into, and I believe that, as you can see here, we've got this downward trend line which can be used as a build up of, or can represent a build up of liquidity that needs to be swept. So until all of, let me put that back, until all of this liquidity has been swept out here in the form of this, or just this, and then this, but we have a change of character here, to get back, or I need, essentially what I'm looking for is this, a change of character, and then a retracement into another supply zone that forms as a result of this liquidity sweep, or the same up here. But as you can see from this trend line, there's a lot of liquidity that can be manipulated and engineered here for us to drop down. So that's essentially what I'm looking for today, and I'll let you know if it plays out. Well, GG's, man. GG. I've got my 3 to 4. Let me get rid of my 3 to 4 p.m. silver bullet lines. GG's, exactly what I said as occurred. I literally said I wanted a push above this area here. I wanted this demand zone to get swept out, and then I wanted a push down. However, we have done that immediately, and it makes me uncomfortable to enter this trade. As you can see, also there is news. There is news that just came out, which may be the reason for this. However, news does just follow. If you analyze correctly, news simply follows the direction of your analysis. News will never just, it will, what's the word am I looking for? If you analyze correctly, news will eventually follow the technical analysis, unless it is a major, major, major thing, like a massive war just randomly starts that day. However, like I said, I wanted to push above this demand zone to sweep out this area here, and push down. That is what has occurred. However, we haven't swept out this point, and we haven't had a change of character here. If I drop down to the 1 minute time frame, we may be about to close for a change of character here. Then potentially what we could do is look for a entry here, like I said, back in time back into this zone, stop loss above, and then TP all the way down to London session lows, if those are London session lows. Nope, they are not. London session lows are all the way down here. However, due to the violent nature of news, I will not be getting in just yet. I will like to look for a little bit more confirmation. I've also just realized that GU kind of does look a little bit more clean on a low time frame, 5 minute, 3 minute time frame for a sweep of this high up here. Hello, my headphones died. My headphones just died. So what was I saying? Yeah, GBP USD does look cleaner on the lower time frame for a sweep of London session highs, a break, and then a retest. So what I would like, once again, sweep, retest, or sweep, change of character, retest of the supply zone that gets created as a result of this sweep, entry here, stop loss above, and then target wherever you want to target. That's what would look nice on GBP USD, and it does look nice on the lower time frame. However, if we go to 4-hour time frame, you can see that we've had these massive legs down, massive leg down, massive leg down, massive leg down, and every single time we've had a massive leg down, we've come back to tap in to some sort of retracement area. Fair value gap retraced. Fair value gap retraced. Not fair value gap retraced, but you could class this as a demand zone retracement. Boom. I mean a supply zone retracement. Boom, right there. Once again, massive leg down. We haven't come back. So, although lower time frame looks nice for sales, higher time frame we haven't come back to retrace into any area up here. So I wouldn't be confident taking a GU sell right now, even though I do believe market is very bearish. As you can see, we're currently coming up to sweep liquidity. Potentially we might sweep liquidity and push down a little bit. However, I want to trade more with overall direction, and therefore, like I said, I do believe I would like to see something, a push up into here before we sell off again next week. So I probably won't sell GU until next week. I might be regretting this by the end of the day today once GU eventually tanks. You don't trade something, it does exactly what you say. You do trade, it does the opposite. It's the nature of the game. But like I said, GU, EU, I'm more confident taking just simply because we have come back up into this area a little bit. And GU, every time, I mean EU, every time we don't necessarily have to retrace as far. GU likes to, EU's a lot slower, GU's faster. So when we retrace on EU, it means we don't have to retrace as deep. As you can see, we have technically come now into, on the 4-hour time frame or 2-hour time frame, into this fair value gap deeply. We're sweeping out London highs right now. I'm more confident, even though I do still believe that we may potentially retrace up here. I might enter that trade if we do get what I want to see. For example, like I said, cool, this supply zone now invalidated exactly like I wanted, because now a bunch of people would have had their stop, let me put that back, a bunch of people would have had their stop loss here, just simply trade supply and demand, and they've been stopped out. That's good for me. Now we've had a sweep of London session highs, so what I would like to see would be a change of character here. So a break of character here. So I want price to come down here, close. Then I want price to come back up to this zone here, put my stop, take my entry here, stop loss above the highs, take us down here. That's what I'm looking to enter now. So I'll get back to you. Also, one thing I will say is we have just come into the 3 to 4 p.m. silver bullet session. So if a fair value gap does form here on the 5-minute time frame within this period, if we do not get back up to this area, like I said, I wanted to see a tap back into a supply zone up here after we create a change of character down here. If that does not occur, what I will then look for is a 5-minute fair value gap to continue in my direction, and I will get in using the simple three candlestick pattern of a fair value gap formation for AM session silver bullet, which will give me more confidence because I've seen everything I wanted to see during New York session open. I've seen everything I wanted to in with my fair value gap if it does play out, so it gives me more confidence to enter the trade. But I'll let you know exactly which entry model I do decide to take based on what does occur. It most likely will be a fair value gap, I believe, as we haven't created a very strong demand or supply zone up here. Like we're very wicky up here. Still does class as a supply zone. However, I would like to see more of a dump off of it first before I class it as a supply zone. I'm just starting to record now because I'm essentially I was about to figure out what and where I want to get in and what and where I think has happened and blah blah blah. So I thought I would just analyze it whilst essentially live trade whilst recording this clip. So what I want to believe, my headphones again. Why do they keep doing that? Hello, hello. Yep, my headphones are back. Cool. Essentially, this is the low that led to this liquidity sweep on the 1 minute time frame. So what I would like to see is a 1 minute change of character, a minimum of a 1 minute change of character here, which does look like it's about to occur. If we get a 1 minute change of character here, um, let me just make this make sense and look good. Cool. 1 minute change of character that we're about to get. Then what I will look for is this area here to get tapped back into potentially. Boom, like this. Like I said, exactly what I wanted. I will give it probably a 5 pip stop loss just in case we do come into it fairly deeply. And then take my TP all the way down here or all the way down to London session lows. So if I do get tapped into this, it will be a 5.86 risk to reward. It is a 1 minute time frame trade, which I do not like taking as much as 3 minute time frames. However, there's so much information that's come out. The news came out bearish for the euro. It's good for the pound. This is good for the dollar. This is euro USD. So bearish for the euro. We've had a sweep of these highs, we've had a sweep of the demand zone that I said, everything's adding up. We've now had a change of character here. After the change of character that happened, as a result, or after the liquidity sweep, I look for a change of character by the structure point that led to the liquidity sweep. Then after that, I look for a retracement zone into somewhere to get the trade. Now, what would be amazing was if, okay, cool, this is the first 5 minute fair value gap as well. A 5 minute fair value gap might be about to spawn. Spawn. That's how you know I play too much games. A 5 minute technically it will spawn. When this 4 minute is up, a fair value gap will spawn. So I'm not wrong by saying that, but yeah. I will be looking to enter on the 1 minute time frame up here most likely because we've now had it. So I probably will go. What is this? It's 5.1 pips. Let's go to position size calculator. Account balance is $4,650 right now, I believe. Let's see. 4,673. Cool. 4,673. I want to enter this trade with a 0.5 percentage just because, like I said yesterday, I don't want to trade again. I didn't want to trade yesterday again this week until Monday. However, this setup looks good, so I will enter the trade with half a percentage of risk because even if I lose this, I will still technically be up on the week. Even though it will only be up 0.25, I'll be up a certain amount. The stop loss is 5.1 pips. It's Euro USD. We'll have to enter with 0.45. Now, on my account, I can only use a maximum of 0.23 due to the lot size consistency rule. So I will have to enter this trade if I was going to enter, I'd have to go sell. I'd have to go 0.22. I'll have to do that twice in order to get 0.44. So I don't break that lot size consistency rule, but that is what I'm looking to do. Now I want to say, let's see. Yep, I will enter that now. So let's just bring this into here so we can see everything, the points of entry. And I'll do this live so everyone can see. Sell, limit price 1.03016, and it will be 0.22 if I'm correct. Yeah, 0.45, split that up by 2, 0.22 essentially. Where is that? 0.22 protection order. We'll put a stop loss. We won't put a take profit because I'll be monitoring it and I'll close half when I want. We'll put stop loss as, where is it? Stop loss is here. What's that? 1.03067. 1.030. 0.67, 0.24. Yep, so I add another one. Send order, limit, sell. Yep, send order. Then let me just open this fully now because I can do the exact same thing and open a sell, 0.22 limit. Where was price? 1.03016, 3016, 0.22 protection order again, stop loss 1.03067, 067 bish, bash, and a bosh. So we now have our two sell limits. Let me put this back here. Boom. If we come back up into this demand, this supply zone, we will get tapped into the trade and we will head all the way down to London session lows will be TP1. Actually, no, TP1 will be 3RR. So TP1 will essentially be down here. So let me just put or once we tap in, if we get tapped in, I'll put an alert here. Let me just draw a line now to make you understand what I will do. I'll put an alert here for essentially to go break even and take 0.5% off of, or 50% of my position off, and then I will take the rest down to full volume, which will be London session lows. Complete full volume would be down to this weekly point of, what am I trying to say? Daily, I believe. On the daily, we have this point here. That will be full volume. However, I do not want to I don't want to push it essentially. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to push it for 12.82 RR on a Friday when market closes at 10 p.m. I'm very much happy to just take it down to London session lows, which would be down here. So let me mark that out. Boom, there. Let's put it as sell side liquidity. Make it white, and yeah, that is what I have done, and I will update you with how this goes and how it plays out. I can't lie, it looks like I am going to remove these sell limits from my trading dashboard because we've already come down all the way to my draw on liquidity. My draw on liquidity is London session lows. We've already drawn towards it. Now, if we come back up, there is more of a chance that we just do continue heading up. It wouldn't be smart to stay in this trade. On top of that fact, like I said, I might potentially enter the trade based off of a 3 to 4 p.m. silver bullet fair value gap. However, if I did enter that, that would be this 1, 2, 3 candlestick pattern that here, this fair value gap here. I would then put my TP or my entry here. My stop loss would be right above the candle that the first candle that created the fair value gap, which is here. And then my draw on liquidity would be down here. That's a 1.54 risk to reward ratio trade, and it is not worth it. So I am about to go to my trading dashboard, get rid of these sell limits. Now, the funny thing is, I'm probably going to look back at this at 10 p.m. tonight. Price probably did come back up here and may have gone back down. However, follow your rules, man. You know what I mean? Follow your rules. The rules are in place for a reason. I wanted price to come up. We take these as a win, right? We have to take these as a win, even though I didn't get in a trade and I haven't won a trade. What did I say I wanted to see? I said I wanted to see an invalidation of this demand zone here for people to get stopped out and liquidity to get swept. That happened. I said I wanted to see on top of that, ideally I would want to see a sweep of London session highs. That happened. I then said I wanted to see a drop down, change of character. That did happen. The change of character happened here. However, before I got the change of character, as you can see, this demand zone here, we pushed down, we tapped back into the demand zone, and then created a change of character. That doesn't fit my rules. In order for the trade to become valid, or to be valid, we need to have a change of character, then a tap back into the supply zone. And I'm realizing now, on top of the fact that we've come down already to my draw on liquidity, this is also another problem that we tapped back into the same supply zone before we had the change of character. So the trade's invalidated. Take the wins on the day. Essentially, if you think about it, we've got what? We've got one win here. We calculated that this was going to happen. We had 2 wins when I said that this. Hello? Yeah, we had 2 wins here, 2 wins here. When I said this downward trend line needed to get manipulated, liquidity did get manipulated through this downward trend line. That's 2 wins on the day essentially. This liquidity sweep of London session highs, that's 3 wins of what I was right about. This change of character, 4 wins of what I was right about. Draw on liquidity, 5 wins of what I was right about on the day. You have to look at it differently, man. You have to look at the fact that I have been correct today, and everything I said that I wanted to see today did happen, apart from 2 things. And the reason that I didn't get into the trade was because the 2 things that I did want to see were my entry criteria. That's a win for the day. I didn't lose anything. Everything I said was going to happen, or I wanted to see happen, happened. I'm happy with that. I'll take the win. Pat myself on the back. Get out from my computer, bro. And I'll see you on Monday.
Yo, people. So it is now 5:25, as you can see, and we would have got tapped in if we didn't close the trade. However, I'm not too fussed about this because it does look like market has just decided to completely reverse and go back. Like I said, we have come down. Why am I so low? We came down to this, or we just missed out on my draw of liquidity. However, we pushed down so close to my draw on liquidity that I don't believe that there was any point in trying to stay in the trade, hoping that we'd come back up to this or this fair value gap to go down. Like I said, we've now created a lower low, or a higher low, a higher high, and then almost kind of like an equal low here. And now another higher high. So I believe prices is about to tank all the way up, or shoot all the way up. Like I said, I did close out the positions. There is no orders here. So what's that? Number 7 win on the day. Right about the 7th thing for the day. So even though we didn't win a trade, gotta take the small wins. So I'm about to head to sleep, but I just came to check the trade. And as you can see, if we didn't close out, we would have got stopped out. So made the right call. It's 10 p.m. I didn't get to sleep last night until 5. So I'm out. Yo, people, I literally just rolled out of bed about 5-10 minutes ago. I woke up a bit late. I've just entered a GU buy, as I can see that we are pushing up quite high after this loss I took the other day. We are pushing up quite high. We've broken this 1 hour, or we're breaking this 1 hour structure now. Here we have basically always. Oh no, we just almost. Yeah, in 35 seconds we're breaking 30-minute structure to the upside. Over here, however, we already broke 30-minute up structure over here. So 30-minute we're bullish. So for the day, I do believe we are going to push up, take out maybe these highs up here, these 15-minute liquidity zones here, probably come up to this demand supply zone up here. So what I'm looking for today is a continuation. As you can see, I've already placed my limit orders. I've done it on my trading platform as well. However, I haven't been tapped into this trade based off of the AM session fair value gap because I entered and I put my limit on the 50% of the fair value gap. However, we came right down to the top of the fair value gap and didn't tap me in. So it's what it is. Right about direction, right about where price wanted to go. Once again, didn't get tapped in. I like to use the 50%. However, recently there's been a few times I haven't been getting tapped in and price has been going to my area. So I think I might change. Moving forward, I might put my my limit orders on the top of the fair value gap because this is now like this is the 4th time that's happened to me in the past 3 weeks. So might alter my strategy a little bit and put it on the top of the fair value gap from now on. However, yeah, this is what I'm doing. And it's unfortunate, but maybe, like I said, we still have 30 minutes until this trade becomes invalidated by 9 p.m. We still have 30 minutes to come down, tap into it, and still shoot up. So we'll see what happens. Yo. So as you can see, we didn't get tapped in. Like I said, I enter, most of the time I enter on the 50% of the fair value gap. However, I do believe that I might change that specific entry model to the top of the fair value gap because, like I said, in the past few weeks this has happened to me quite a lot and I'm noticing that it might be beneficial for me to change it. We were right about direction so far. Obviously this trade, if we got in, actually, we were completely right. If we did get tapped in, I would have already been risk free and break even as at 3 RR. I will take 50% of the trade position, 50 to 75% of the position off, and then I let the rest run to full volume and move my stop loss to break even. So we were right about this trade. Unfortunately, didn't get tapped in. It's the way the game goes. I was going to enter EU, and EU would have been a bit better. I was going to enter EU. If I entered EU, it would have been something like this. First fair value gap that spawned. Boom. Entry on the 50%. Stop loss below. TP at this high here, or full TP up here. So if we put TP here, like I said, we would already be at essentially TP, and I would have also been break even, stop loss, break even, 50% closed. But these are just ifs, not even ifs, these are in hindsight. Let me quickly go and get rid of these orders before I get tapped in, because it is past 9 a.m. and the trade is now invalidated, even if we do come back down to my point of entry, because it is the silver bullet method. And I will be back at 3 to 4. I think I don't know, I'm gonna decide now. I'm thinking to myself that I will just simply trade strictly silver bullet hours and silver bullet strategy. However, I do like to trade New York session open, wait for a sweep of one side, a sell side or a buy side liquidity sweep, change of character, and then a retracement back into a demand or supply zone for entry. That's what I typically try to do on New York session open. However, I need to see, based on my notion and my trading log, if it makes sense to trade silver bullet in the morning and then New York open, or silver bullet in the morning, silver bullet in the evening. I have to just see what the statistics are telling me, if it makes sense to overlap two strategies or if it doesn't. But yeah, I will be back later today if there is a trade opportunity. If not, like I said, we'll take it as a win today. We're right about direction, right about where market wanted to go. We would have been in the trade and in profit and made profit today if we entered on the top of the fair value gap. Obviously, these are things in hindsight, so I can't sit there and be like, oh, we would have hit more, and get upset about it. The facts are, we would have if I decided to enter off the top of the fair value gap. However, I don't. Like I said, that's something that I might rectify and change within my strategy and within my entry model. However, as I do things right now, we didn't win the trade. And as I say that, I'm literally looking at the screen and we're shooting all the way up to sell side or buy side liquidity. Is what it is. Manners, people. Yeah. I can't lie. I probably shouldn't do this. Or back in the day, if you're a new trader, don't do what I've just done. If you're beginning, don't do what I've just done. I put the position back on just to see what would have happened. Don't do this if you're a new trader, because you will piss yourself off. You will end up revenge trading. You will end up over trading because you're annoyed that something like this has happened. But gee, I want to crash, bro. I want to crash out, bro. I'm saying this. Bear in mind, I know I'm saying I'm gonna crash out, but I'm saying this with the experience of understanding that these things just simply happen, and I'm not gonna overtrade because of what I'm seeing. I'm not gonna revenge trade because of what I'm seeing, but I want to crash out. Gee, if I put this shit at the top of the fair value gap, bro, we'd be flying. And then, like I said, if I entered EU, where's this? Look, if I entered EU, bro, I'm actually gonna crash out, bro. If I entered EU, we would have basically almost hit full volume 7 RR. Like I said, I would have closed half of the position at 3 RR and be break even. But it's funny because, like, before I even place my fair value gaps for the day, I come onto the 15 or 5 minute time frame. So let me explain what I do. This is the loss we took last. Did I enter that? No, we won this trade actually. We won this trade, remember? We won this trade last week within like what? How long is that? Within like 20 minutes, and then we came back up and didn't stop me out because we had already closed the trade. But yeah, in the morning, what I do before I look for the fair value gap of the day, I mark out sell side or buy side, or I look for my bias. Bias this morning was bullish. I mark out my 5 minute sell side liquidity or buy side liquidity points, which was here and here, and then I come to the charts and go, or I come to the time London Open 8 to 9. Mark out the fair value gap, put my limits, blah blah blah. Like I said, I didn't enter EU just because there's EU, there's EU German prelim CPI all day, Normally, if it's an all-day folder, I don't mind trading. However, because I saw an equal opportunity on GU and there was no GU news, I thought GU would be the best option. But yeah, man, this just makes me, like I said, bear in mind and keep this in your brain. If you are not psychologically where you need to be as a trader and you are a beginner trader, do not do what I have just explained and do not do what I am doing right now. Do not sit there and be like, oh, if I did this, this would have done this. When you are a beginner trader, strictly stick to exactly what you do. Once you become understanding of the things that you can change in order to capitalize or make more profit, change them. But when you are a beginner trader, stick to the same script day by day. Do not change anything, because you will end up overtrading. You will end up changing too many things. You will end up losing one trade here and being like, oh, I should change this. You'll end up losing 2 trades here and be like, I should change this. The reason I am sat here saying I'm gonna crash out as a joke, obviously I want to crash out. It is annoying, but I'm not allowing it to affect my mental state as a trader. I'm not allowing it to make me sit there and be like, oh, let me look for another trade now. Let me look for a reversal down. That's the difference. I'm looking at it right now, and as you heard me say before, the reason I want to start entering off of the top of fair value gaps instead of the 50% of the fair value gaps is because over the past 3 to 4 weeks, this has happened to me where I haven't got filled on a trade and it's gone exactly where I wanted it to 4 or 5 times over the past 3-4 weeks. Now, this is something I can see. Cool. If I just simply change this one aspect, I'm not going to ruin my trading plan. I'm not going to end up over trading. I'm not going to end up getting into trades too much. I'm not going to end up revenge trading. I've just noticed now that this is something that I can change in order to increase my win rate and to increase my fill rate, should I say. So yeah, man, it's shit like this. Obviously, we basically came up all the way to sell side liquidity, buy side liquidity. Same on EU, or we slapped first buy side liquidity on EU. Is what it is. Remove draw-ins. Is what it is. Remove draw-ins. Don't pay attention to it. But yeah, it's just funny to see exactly what I want play out, but something like not getting filled happens. Is what it is. Part of the game. Like I said, do not do what I have just done if you are a beginner trader, because it will bite you in the ass. Just stick to the same script, no matter how many times you don't get filled, for at least, I can't even tell you a time frame, until your psychology is where your psychology needs to be. Stick to the same script until you can take losses and still feel the same exact way as you do when you take a win. Stick to the same script, please. I'm out. Yo guys, so it's further into London session, and I am just now realizing, of course I was looking for a buy during the 8 to 9 a.m. session, or 8 to 9 London open silver bullet, like you saw, and it would have hit and blah blah blah, like you just saw. However, what I'm seeing now is we may, if we break structure here on the 5 minute, what I've just seen is we have a 4-hour retracement. Last week was bearish for GU. And I said to myself last week I wanted to see a pushback up into some sort of structural area before we sell back off. Now we've come back into where was it? Why did I do that? We've basically come into this 4-hour fair value gap, pushed up. Is there a 1 hour? Yeah, there was a 1 hour. Here it was. We've come into this 1 hour fair value gap here. Then on the 15 minute, or the 5 minute, we have change of character, break of structure, which is going to take place. Whoa, did the news just come out or something? Did news just come out? Because what is that? No. Mad. We're just selling off. If this breaks structure, I will be looking for a retracement into this supply zone here. And then I will take a sell to continue the sell side trend, or whatever you want to call it, down to Asian session lows over here. So that's what I'm looking for now. I'm waiting for this break of structure. We broke structure, to be fair, we broke structure on the 3 minute. We had a change of character over here, like I was saying. So if on the 1 hour, let me draw this properly there. The 1 hour, we've perfectly respected this fair value gap. The wicks did not close above it, which gives me confidence in the what's it called? In the fair value gap. Also, this is a 2 hour fair value gap. You could I'll use the 2 hour one actually because it's higher time frame means more. Like I said, change of character, break of structure. If we have a retracement back into this supply zone, I do believe we could have a nice reaction off of it. So I'm going to place my limit now. I'm going to go here, position size calculator, account size. I think I'm down. How much am I down on the account right now? 2025. I'm down 5.8%, which means my account will be 5,660, something like that. Let's actually just check. Actually, no, because I don't want to show you guys my password. I'll have to log back in. Let's just say that stop loss will be 7.9 pips. We'll just make that 9 pips just to give us a little bit more breathing room. Let me see on the 5 minute. Is there any areas that haven't? That's okay. We tapped into this fair value gap, so maybe let me bring. No, I'll go off of the supply zone because I want a reaction off of the supply zone. We are entering off of. 1 second, let me stop the recording and restart because I have to log into my trading platform. Cool, I'm in my trading. I just didn't want to show you guys my password and stuff. I'm in the trading platform now. Let me do this quick. Okay, stop loss was 9 pips. We could get stopped out of this trade, but I'm confident in where price wants to go. 0.25. Okay, let me bring this like here. 1.24718. 1 point limit 1.22 0.22 1.24718 sell 1.24718. Oh, 1.24718. There we go. And then another sell. What is that? 0.22. It said 0.25, 0.03. Limit 1.24718. Sell. Cool. So I've got my sell position on this supply zone, which we do seem to be coming back up to right now. We either get stopped out of this trade or we win. I'm not too fussed in terms of, like I said, I'm at a point now with my psychology where I'm not too fussed if I lose a trade because I'm seeing the right things. I'm seeing the things that I want to see in tandem with my trading plan and how I like to trade. So if we win the trade, we win the trade. If we lose the trade, we lose the trade. And I closed my, why did I close my DX trade again? So I have the limits. I don't have a stop loss set on them. The stop loss will be 124,808. So let's put stop loss 124,808. I got filled on the trade. Okay, I got filled. 124,808. 124,808. 124,808. Cool. So I'm in the trade, as you can see. We could just smash right through it, but like I said, I've seen what I want to see and I'm happy with the trade. With a 3 minute break of structure. Entered on the 5 minute supply zone. Hopefully come and test the 50% of this supply zone and then drop down. If we don't, I don't really care. But yeah, that's what I've done. We didn't get our silver bullet session trade this morning, so this is the next best setup for me on the day. Just a simple, we didn't have a liquidity sweep or anything like that. However, like I said, we've had a high time frame fair value gap tapped into, and I do believe that price does need to continue down to the downside. It also aligns with this structural point here. So I do want to see price continue down on the day. I'll update you later. And there we have it. We've already been taken out of the trade. We've already lost the trade. Minus 0.5%. We lost the trade literally in a matter of 5 minutes. Is what it is. I'm not really too fast. Be back at New York Open to see if there's any options or any potential trade opportunities, because I have a rule. I'm okay with taking 1 loss in a day, but if I take 2 losses, I call it quits. So see what happens. Yo people, what's good? I don't know if the last clip I recorded had my camera where it is, but I've decided to move my camera here just so that when I'm actually editing my videos, I can like cut the video vertically, so then I can put it straight onto TikTok. Let me know if in the comments if anyone even cares. Nobody's really commenting on my videos at this point in time. I'm not getting many views, but I mean, let me know if you want to. Let me know if the camera's decent in the middle or if it's a problem. The only thing I can think of it being a problem for is time. Like, you can't see the time at the bottom because my camera's here. However, I took that loss this morning on GU, as you know, as you saw. I am now looking to sell back down overall, as we have come up to this point here. We closed above on the 2 hour, but then we're about to close back, or about to close back down below, which indicates to me that this is a liquidity sweep. Number two, if we go down to the 15-minute time frame, we have had a break of structure after this liquidity sweep. The only thing that is confusing me right now, and I'm making a decision of what I want to do, is like I said, we've had this high time frame liquidity sweep, or what I believe to be a high time frame liquidity sweep. However, London highs have still been untouched. So what I would like to see potentially, and this is where I'm still learning it, that's why this series is called Master in the Markets. I'm not sitting here acting like I'm the best trader. I have passed my funded account. If I do make profit on this account, I can get the money out and literally get a payout to my bank account. However, I'm still learning, and that's why I'm calling it Master in the Markets. One day, when you see when you see me post a video saying mastered the markets, or we mastered the markets, or I changed the series name to Mastered the Markets, that's when you know I've done my thing. But for now, it's called Master in the Markets for a reason. So like I said, we had that higher time frame liquidity sweep, which I believe, because we went up, we came up and then came right back down. However, we haven't taken out London session highs. So what I would like to see normally on New York session open is a sweep of London session highs, a pushback down, change of character, and then get in on some form of fair value gap, supply zone, demand zone, depending on what side we're on. In this situation, I would like to see a sweep of London session highs, a pushback down, and then get an entry in here somewhere to sell back down to London session lows down here, just around here. However, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do right now, because as you can see, we are coming into this fair value gap here, and this could be a potential entry if I'm just entering off of this higher time frame liquidity sweep. However, typically price does like to come and test London session highs, so I will wait for that. If that doesn't happen, I most likely will miss this setup because I will be looking for too many confluences. However, like I said, Master in the Markets, and it's still learning. I'm not going to act like I am a perfect trader, but that's what I'm looking for, and I'll update you if that occurs and we do end up taking some form of trade. Well done. I have no idea what's been going on today, bro. I have no idea. This morning, price just shot like this. Now, price is just shooting down. One sec. My father is calling. Yo, what are you telling me? I'm back. Why did I just answer that like it was a phone call? Yo, guys, I'm back. I dealt with what I had to deal with. I'm done trading for the day. Obviously, I didn't take this second position. I took a loss this morning on GU, as you guys all saw. I was going to enter another position to sell off down to London session lows, but as you can see, we just completely melted down. There wasn't really much of an entry point for me. Looking at it in hindsight, like I said in the last clip, I should have essentially entered off of this 5-minute fair value gap that was created here. I should have put a limit order here, stops above the liquidity sweep, from the higher time frame liquidity sweep. But like I was saying, I was waiting for a London session high sweep, which doesn't really make sense, because thinking about it in hindsight, there was a higher time frame liquidity sweep, so I shouldn't have been also waiting for a lower time frame liquidity sweep. That was my mistake. Like I said, I'm still mastering the markets. I'm still learning. These are things that I do know, but it just takes repetition to then be able to see it immediately and execute, instead of trying to wait for that second confirmation. As you can see, if I did enter off of the 5-minute fair value gap, like I said, I potentially would have. If I wasn't waiting for the London session high sweep, I would have put my TP all the way down to London session lows, and we would have already been risk free, because at 3R I always take my risk off the table and take 50% of the trade off. So I would have profited 50% of this trade, and been break even right now, so it would have been a good trade. Hindsight's 2020 though, right? You know what I mean? So can't complain. It is what it is. This will probably be me done for the day, unless, let's have a look. Let's actually have a look. Euro USD, GBP JPY. Yeah, I don't really see any opportunities. Let's actually see. Let me check something. Let's get rid of this London high, London low. Let's get rid of. Let's just remove all drawings, and then let me do what I would normally do. So 3 to 4. If an opportunity arises during the 3 to 4 p.m. silver bullet session for me to potentially get into a sell down to London lows, then we'll see. But I would like price to push back up a little bit first, come and test these areas to give us a good enough RR, because if, for example, we get in here and let's say a candlestick, a fair value gap's formed here, London lows are just here, I believe. Where's London open? London open is here, so London lows are here, yeah. Unless we push back up, I think price is going to keep pushing down right now. So unless we come back up, I don't believe we'll get a good enough RR for me to want to actually get in for a silver bullet session trade between the hours of 3 to 4. So we'll see what happens, but most likely I am done for the day, and yeah, catch you in a bit. So surprisingly enough, we have actually pushed back up to a point where a PM, or I mean an AM session silver bullet entry might be valid. We've pushed up enough. I do believe we're coming back down on the day, because we have, like I said, swept out this liquidity. I'm not liking this wick though. Now that I think about it, I didn't look at this before I started recording, so this might be a pointless clip. I am not liking that wick. However, we have pushed up enough to where a AM session silver bullet entry might be valid down to these London session lows, like I was talking about a moment ago. But we'll have to see. I doubt that I will get into a trade, because this might be about to push up to London highs, like I said. Even though we had that high time frame liquidity sweep, the fact that this didn't just immediately push down to London lows means that we might need a little bit more fuel, and that fuel might be this liquidity sweep up here, which then pushes price back down. So I keep looking over there, because this is where my Streamlabs is, so I'm looking at myself right now, where I need to look here, and that's going to take me a while to get used to. But yeah, I'm looking for potentially a setup to form in the silver bullet hour in the next literal hour, so I'll let you know. One thing I wanted to discuss really quickly was I've realized that I was looking for a buy this morning on GBP USD, and some of you guys might be confused as to why I was looking for a buy this morning. However, now I'm looking to sell. The reason for this was because I understood that price was bearish last week, very, very bearish last week, and we needed to see some form of a retracement back up before we could continue heading down. We were all the way down here, and I wasn't going to be unrealistic and say to myself that let's get into a sell right now. When we need to retrace and fill these fair value gaps, we need to come back to some form of supply zone. We need to see some form of structure or inducement of something higher up. Whereas I understood overall we were bearish, and my daily time frame is bearish, my weekly time frame is bearish, my 4-hour time frame is bearish. But before we can sell down, we need to go back up, which is why therefore this morning I was looking for a AM session or a London Open silver bullet entry to go up. And like you saw, we would have hit if I put my TP or my entry at the top of the fair value gap instead of the 50% of the fair value gap, like you saw earlier. Go back to whenever in the video that was to make sense of it. However, now that we have retraced so high up, I will be looking to continue selling down, which is why right now on GU and also EU, I am looking for an AM session silver bullet entry to continue down to London session lows. I wanted to just clear that up before somebody sits there and says, oh, why is he changing his bias halfway through the day? No, my bias is bearish for this next week on EU and GU. However, we needed to retrace up before we could head back down, which is what has occurred, and blah blah blah. So that's what I just wanted to make that make sense for people that actually are watching these videos to understand trading, or watching these videos to understand my journey trading. Yo, people. Yo. I have just finished logging a trade on my Notion as I've just entered a trade on EU. As I told you, I was waiting for GU or EU to create a 5 minute fair value gap, 3 to 4 p.m. so I can get in a traditional AM session silver bullet trade. We did do that. It is a very small fair value gap. As soon as I entered the trade, we did come all the way up here, really close to my stop loss. Like I said, with the silver bullet method and with these fair value gap entries, you either win or lose the trade extremely fast. So that's the good thing. You know if you're right or wrong very quickly. I'm in the trade now, as you can see. I got tapped in, as you can see. Like I said, I'm showing my account balances and stuff. As you understand, this is a small account. This is a 5k account, funded account with Rocket 21. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm making the most amount of money because I'm not. I'm using this account to learn how to trade on live funds for my psychology. So as you can see, here's proof of entry. I haven't put my take profit. I've got my stop loss and everything like that set. We're pushing straight back up to stop loss again. I'm in this trade, but yeah, we're about to get stopped out. But yeah, I'm in this trade, probably about to get stopped out because, for example, for some reason, price just wants to magnetize to my SL today. We're out of the trade. So that is the second loss of the day, and I am done for the day. If I take 2 losses in a day, I'm done. I'll update you potentially on where this trade or where price did end up by the end of the day, but with this model, as you can see, I entered on the 5 minute fair value gap that we created here. This candle, and this candle. Unfortunately, we've been stopped out. It is what it is, and I will get back to you tomorrow when we come for some more opportunities. Tomorrow, I don't believe there's any news at all. Swiss news, and then so tomorrow we will be trading the London Open silver bullet. We will not be trading anything after that due to the news at 3 p.m. So tomorrow, London Open, and that's about it. In a bit, guys. Yo, what's good, people? I haven't recorded in a few days just because I haven't really had many trade opportunities. I say a few days, it's been like 2 days, I believe. I took a trade yesterday on EU and lost. Let me just break this down a little bit for you. As I had said prior, I am trading. This trade is a little bit different to what I would normally place. And I am trading my funded account right now, slightly different to how I usually would, simply because I know that I do need to purchase a new funded account because the rules on my account do not line up perfectly with how I do actually want to continue trading. My trading plan is slightly evolved and my funded account doesn't allow me to trade in that exact way. So I'm being a bit more risky, not risky in terms of position size. I'm just simply entering a few more trades that I wouldn't usually trade because I'm a bit more blasé about this account. If I blow this account, I'm not too fussed because I'm planning on purchasing a new account anyway. So I'm just being a bit more, like I said, risky without increasing position size. I'm taking more trades that I usually wouldn't because I'm in the mindset of if this hits, cool, I can get a payout. If it doesn't, I need to buy a new account anyway. So as you can see, this wasn't taken in any at the start of London. I mean, the start of New York Open or London Open specifically. It wasn't even a 3 to 4 p.m. fair value gap entry. It was simply just a build up of liquidity that I saw that needed to be manipulated. We had 1, 2, 3 liquidity sweeps. That's how I analyzed it. 1, 2, 3 liquidity sweeps. Then we had, after this final third one, we had a push down. We had a change of character within here on the 1 minute, change of character, break of structure. There was this. This is a 3 minute supply zone. We came down, tapped into the 3 minute supply zone here, and then lower time frame again on the 1 minute. I believe we broke structure. I think I got in this slightly preemptively. Yeah, we broke. I was meant to get in here, however, because obviously retracement back into the supply zone. However, I ended up getting in around here because I realized I had analyzed this after it kind of occurred, and then realized, oh, my entry is still valid because I was going to enter over here, as you can see. However, I entered here, which was equivalent to entering in this position here. I normally would put my stop loss, my entry on the limit, or my limit on the supply zone. However, like I said, I saw this after the fact and realized, okay, I can get in on a break of structure now. This also in tandem with these liquidity sweeps and then also my entry, we had this 15-minute fair value gap that was formed during London session that we tapped into and looked like we were holding strong. So that's the reasoning behind that trade. As you can see, we lost the trade, we got stopped out, and now I am just waiting for New York session to open today to get into another trade. Like I said, trading this account a little bit more risky. Entering positions I used to not enter. If I see things that dedicate, for example, I wouldn't enter unless it's New York open, London open, London session silver bullet, AM session silver bullet, 3 to 4 p.m. However, now if I see things within the charts, unless it's a stupid time like 9 p.m. late in the day, I entered this 4 p.m. So unless it's late in the day or if I see what I want to see, like I said, all these confluences, this trade could go in my direction, even though it is not the time that I would not typically trade. I will still enter, just because, like I said, once again, I'm repeating myself over and over, but I want to preface that not to do this if you have a funded account, and this isn't the typical way you should trade if you do have a funded account and you have a specific trading plan. But because I understand that I am going to have to, even if I get a payout and continue making money from this funded account, I do want to purchase a new funded account with different rules, simply because of my trading plan has evolved. So I will be taking trades at different points of the day if I see what I want to see, unless it's really early in the morning or really late at night or in the evening. But that's that. I will keep you updated on what I do today during New York session. I'm not too sure what kind of positions I will get into, just because higher time frame, I do have this on the 4 hour, I do have a zone that I want to tap here and here. So if I do see a sweep of London session highs during New York session, let's actually just draw this out now. Boom, 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 London, New York. If I see a sweep of here, break of character, change of character, break of structure, retracement into demand zone or supply zone, I will be looking to sell off down to my sell side liquidity zones, and this will be a typical trade that I would normally take. So I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, this is what's happened recently in the past 2 days, or yesterday. I took that trade yesterday, and I believe I hadn't recorded the day before that. I recorded the day before that. So that's what's been going on, and I'll keep you updated. I also think I'm going to release this week's or this month's Mastering the Markets in 2 episodes. So I think what I'm going to do now, instead of uploading one video at the end of the month every month based on that month of trading, what I'm going to do is, simply because I already have about an hour of footage for this Mastering the Markets episode of January, and it's only the 9th of January, as you can see, I think what I'm going to do is upload as many videos as I want to during the month based on that month. So if week 1 I have an hour of content, I will upload Mastering the Markets January episode. If it's episode 4 part 1, and then the next week I'll do episode 4 part 2, episode 4 part 3, and so on and so on. I just don't want to throw out a 4-hour video at the end of the month, because nobody's sitting for a 4-hour trading video. Some people will, but I want to break it up, and then it also does allow me to just simply get more content and more videos onto my channel, so it works in both ways. But that's what I'm looking for today, and I'll get back to you when that happens. Yo. So New York session has just opened. We have literally, as New York session opened, we have swept out London session highs already. However, what I would like to see is, I typically do like to enter a trade in New York session after 2 p.m. just because there's a lot of stuff that can happen during market open or New York open that can potentially be fake outs. However, if we do simply just push down, create a change of character, break of structure, and a supply zone that we can then get into potentially like this, essentially blah blah blah, down to London session lows, I will enter. However, yep, I am just going to wait a little bit longer for some form of structure to form. I'm not going to be preemptive and say, oh, let's drop down to the 1 minute right now. I want to see a little bit more, like I said, structure to be formed before I enter. But it does look like today we will be getting into a sell on Euro USD down to London session lows, is what I would like to see right now. Yo. So as I said, we've had this liquidity sweep. I've dropped down onto the 1 minute time frame, as if I was on the 5 minute, we have swept out London highs. Let me bring this down all the way. Line this up properly. We've swept out London highs. On the 5 minute, there's not really much for me to analyze. So what I'm going to do is drop down, and as you can see on the 1 minute time frame, this was the low that led to this high, which was the liquidity sweep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out this low here. If we get a candlestick closure on the 1 minute below this, I will class this as a break of structure, as we have already had here. We've had push down, push back up, change of character within here, down here. So if we break structure here, which is the point that led to this liquidity sweep, this high up here, what I will do then is mark out this zone as a 1 minute supply zone, and I will put my limit order on here, essentially stop loss above the highs. I will then target down to London session lows here. However, I like to take some profit off at 1 to 3R. So here, if we do get some sort of a reaction and do get tapped in, I will then take, let me just make this, get rid of these arrows. I will take this here, I will take 50% of my position, maybe 75% of my position off, move to break even, and then let the rest of the full volume drop down to London session lows. However, like I said, we are just waiting for this 1 minute break of structure down here, because I would like to see, actually no, let me leave these arrows on to represent where I'm talking about. I would like to see, as you can see, look, we've come down exactly to the zone I marked out, and we have wicked up straight away on the 1 minute. And obviously it's 1 minute time frame action, so you might sit there and say that doesn't mean a lot. However, as you can see, we pushed all the way down, and where do we find some form of a wick? Even if we do close now, we reacted, as you just saw, we reacted off of this zone, which is where I want to see a candlestick closure below to class as a break of structure, and then we will get into some form of, let's see, wait, is it gonna close below? Nope, we did not. See, look, last second, as you can see, these little things are what you need to pay attention to. We're obviously reacting or not wanting to just blast past this, as this was the low that led to this high created, which swept out London session highs. So I'm waiting for a closure below here, and like I said, then I will make my decision on when to enter the trade. However, this is what I am looking for today. There we go, cool. We have the candlestick closure below this zone. We closed below the zone. We closed below the body. We also would have closed below the wick, which gives me more confidence to now put my limit order on the bottom of this supply zone. I'm going to go to baby pips. As you can see, I'm risking 0.5%. My account balance is currently $4,615, which is roughly around minus 8% on the funded account. So we are coming up to that max drawdown on the funded account of 10%. So I'm risking 0.5%. We have to enter the trade with 0.3846 lot size. So I'm going to go and do that on my funded account and get back to you if we get tapped in. Or I'll get back to you when we get tapped in, and then I'll take it from there. Yo, so we are coming back up to the point of my entry. The one thing I will say about this supply zone, it is a supply zone. However, it is not as clean of a supply zone that I would normally like. The reason I say this is because we did come down, we created this last move up. So with a supply zone, you draw it from the last move up before a leg down. Now this would be this candlestick and this wick. However, we have come down out of it slightly down to here and came back into it a little bit more. So it has been mitigated slightly, if that's the right terminology to use. Obviously, I have learned how to use supply and demand zones fairly recently. I would like to say in the past 3 months, I've started to utilize them quite a lot. 3 months, 4 months, something like that. However, I would prefer to see, let me explain. So this, as you can see, I said it came down and we come back into it a little bit before pushing back down. A more clean, let me see if I can find one on the 1 minute. A cleaner type of supply zone would be something such as this high here, which we came up to and pushed directly off of, no retracement back into the zone until here, where we came into it and pushed back off. This is a cleaner supply zone, and this is typically what I would like to enter off of normally. However, when price is being a bit jiggy jaggedy like this, you cannot be, I mean, you can be very picky and you could say that this isn't a supply zone to enter off of. However, it is still a supply zone. Price can still come back up to this supply zone where a bunch of orders obviously are sitting and a bunch of people's, an order block, a supply zone, whatever you want to call it, potato. Do you get what I mean? So I would like to see this get tested and pushed straight off of. However, if not, we take the loss. still fits my trading plan, still is a supply zone, still had the liquidity sweep of London session highs, change of character within here, break of structure within here, retracement into the supply zone would be great, and I would like to see what happens off of that. Now, I also have realized that this would have been a candlestick closure on a 3-minute break, or a 3-minute break of structure of this candlestick body here, not the wick. However, on the 1 minute, like I said, we would have broken below this candlestick wick here. So it gives me confidence to say, you know what, boom, this trade is a good trade to get into, and I'm still confident in my bias and my daily direction. So I'll update you with this again. I just wanted to speak on the supply zone situation because I know some people might have thought the same thing that I thought, and I will say it is not as clean of a supply zone as normal. However, it is still a supply zone. It has just been tapped into once before. Yo. So we got tapped into the trade. We didn't dump off. We reacted off of the supply zone, created this 1 minute doji candle, or 1 minute bearish hammer, and we pushed down a little bit. I do believe, like I said, because of this, the fact that we came out of this supply zone and came into it a little bit more, I do believe that we may come and test further into the supply zone, into this maybe the 50% mark. However, we have tapped into it and we are reacting off of it. On the 5-minute chart, we did get a bearish hammer candle off of the supply zone. So I'll update you guys on what happened if we just fucking smash all the way through SL and I have to go and jump out of my balcony, or if we come into profit and I don't have to jump off my balcony. I'll let you know what happens. If you don't see this video, I jumped off the balcony. However, you will never know I jumped off the balcony because you won't see this video. Well, we see what happens, man. We see what happens, bro. You know what I mean? So update, it is now about to turn 3 p.m. and we are tapped in and we pushed down. However, we have started to create some equal lows down here. Not too sure how I feel about it. As you can see, where we broke structure, we're creating like equal lows all across here. It's not very nice to see, I won't lie. As you can see, if I just drag this along, we keep testing these lows down here, so there is a potential we push up and do stop me out. However, I am going to hold the trade and just, as people refer to, as set and forget this trade, because I do want to take my first profit down here and then let the full profit run to full volume, as I had said before. We did react off of the point nicely, the zone nicely, everything's played out nicely, trading plan played out nicely, saw everything I wanted to see. Oh, well then, let's just hope we can close below those equal lows, like I just said, or create another equal low. That's quite comical that happened as soon as I come to record. We'll see what happens in the next couple of minutes, and I'll update you later in the day. I'm not going to do another video about this, or another clip about this trade if we keep just moving sideways. I'll let you know once we hit stop loss or take profit, or if I end up closing out full volume, or closing out my full position down here at 3R. Depending on how much volume I see in the market will depend on, or will determine what decision I decide to make. What's up, people? I just got my notification to tell me that we have hit 3RR. What I would normally do is, or what I would do in the past once we hit 3RR, is go break even and take 50% of profits, 50 to 75% of profits. However, I was watching an Alex FX video the other day, I believe it was yesterday actually, and he was talking about how he sets and forgets, but he also does it, he doesn't just simply set and forget price all the time. He uses his market understanding and his experience to tell him what market is most likely to do. Now, I say that to say, we have hit 3RR. I'm going to go break even regardless right now. We have hit 3RR. However, we have hit it with a great amount of volume. As you can see, the 15-minute candle has smashed down. The 5-minute candle has smashed down. Now, this is a point that we could reverse at. However, I'm going to wait for this 5-minute candle to close to see what price looks like, and then also wait for this 15-minute candle to close. If they both close with a high amount of momentum, I will simply just close, or I will simply just go to break even, because I want to make a decisions based off what the market is showing me, not just based off of the financial value I am seeing on my trading dashboard. Now, as you can see, we're closing up as a doji after hitting this liquidity point, which is why I am going to go break even regardless. However, I do potentially want to see price go all the way through full TP, and therefore I might not take any percentage off the table for this trade. I just wanted to update you guys with that and let you know. Also, another reason I'm not taking profits 50% or 75% of the profits off of the table at this 3R zone is simply because I have said before I am on minus 8% on the funded account right now. Taking half of the profits right now, as I entered with 0.5% risk, would only make me 0.75%. So that would bring me back to minus 7.25% on the account instead of minus 8%. Now, like I had mentioned, I am looking to purchase a new funded account anyway, which means I am not too fussed if we don't make anything from this trade. If price decides that, you know what, I'm going to come straight from this zone and stop me out at break even, I'm okay with that, with the knowledge of knowing that if it comes down and hits TP, full TP, it will make me 2.25 or 2.5% or 2.75%, I believe, which will then bring me to about minus 5.25% on the account. Now that is a much bigger difference than just taking 0.75 off of the table now. The reason I am happy to make this decision is because I am not too fussed about if I blow this funded account. As I had said prior, I am looking to purchase a new funded account with different rules simply because my trading plan has evolved. So this is something you should consider as traders watching this video. You might sit there and say, oh, you should take some profits because blah, blah, blah. Understand that the reason I am not taking profits right now is because I'm either going to blow this account and I'm not happy to blow the account, but I'm either going to blow the account or get a payout from it. I am not too fussed psychologically on losing this account simply because I know that eventually, even if I do get a payout from this account, I'm not going to continue trading this account. Once I get a payout from this account, I'm using that payout money in order to purchase a different funded account. Same thing, if I blow the account, I am going to just simply purchase a different funded account because I wanted different rules for my new trading plan, the way I execute trades now. So that's the reason I've done that. Take that into consideration when you're also taking profits, setting your stop loss to break even. Why am I setting it break even? Why am I taking profits right now? What situation am I in on the funded account right now? What am I doing moving forward on my funded account or in my trading journey? You need to consider these things. Of course, if you have a funded account that you're happy with the rules, stick to your trading plan completely 100%. Do not divert from it. But as I had said, the reason I am not taking profits is because at the end of the day, I'm not too fussed about making 0.75% simply because it doesn't make a difference to me because of the situation I am in. So just bear that in mind when watching this video. And if you're going to go in the comments and be like, you should have done this, or think to yourself, you should have done this, bear that in mind, as that's the reason why I am conducting myself how I am in the markets currently. Yo, people. So I have gone back on my word. And one thing I wanted to say about this is don't be afraid to admit you have made a mistake, or don't be afraid to ponder on what you say when you say it, and be open to new information. So I have essentially, I don't know when the last clip was, probably around down here when we pushed down below 3RR and I said I wasn't going to close out any of the trade. I was standing on that simply because, like I said, I wanted to make essentially more profit than just 3RR by closing half of it at that point. Well, I wanted to make more than I would by closing half of the position at that point, because I wasn't going to be happy with where I was on the funded account. And I'm still standing on that. However, I've been watching a podcast with Urimi and some other guy, I can't remember. And one thing that he spoke about literally just 5 minutes ago, which is why I've come in here and now have closed out half. Closed out half about 5 minutes ago, or just under half. I closed out around 40% of the trade. Right, my camera's a bit wonky, one sec. Because he talks about building your account through checkpoints. Obviously, we all want to make big money and everything like that. And if I noticed that if a trader that is already making millions and millions a year is saying that these are one of the habits that they built, in order to be profitable, in order to make good decisions, and in order to then get where they have got, I should probably take the same, or I should probably take their advice. So what I have done is I closed out part of my position around here. We came back above 3RR, and that's when I just came back into the room and decided, you know what, I'm going to close out part of the position at 3R and let the rest run, like I said, to full volume at 5RR or to break even, just because it just made sense to me what he was saying. A mountain is made through pebbles. A mountain is made through pebbles. Small pebbles consistently create a bigger rock and a bigger mountain, and it's just true. So I did come in here. I have closed out half of my position, or 40% of my position, around 3R, and I will just now let the rest run. On top of that, it is getting late. It's 6:30 now, and I don't like holding positions too late, especially into like the 10 p.m. slippage hour. So I closed out some of the position to just secure some profits on the day, because even if we are wrong overall about overall market direction, I'm glad and happy to secure some profits, because by the end of the week, for example, if you don't close out profits at some point in the market, in every trade you're in, you might end up not making anything throughout the week. However, they made a very good point, or Yurimi made a very good point. You can be wrong about overall market direction for the whole week, but because you've secured some profits throughout the week over and over again, by the end of the week you might be up 3-4%, but still overall been wrong about market direction. So I just took some advice from someone I look up to and someone that I aspire to essentially follow in their footsteps to a certain extent, and that's why I've closed out half of the position. I will be letting the rest run down here, but I probably won't make another update about this trade today, and we'll see where it's at tomorrow. Do we have news tomorrow? Oh, wait, what have I done? Tomorrow we have USD news. Oh, it's NFP at 1:30 tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll only be trading London session. If we don't get any opportunities during London session, I'll be done for the day, and that will be me for the week. And I will upload a video. I think I'm going to upload this video as January Mastering the Markets episode, season 1, episode 4, part 1, because I already have like an hour and 10 minutes of footage. And then from next week, I will start season 1, episode 4, part 2. Manners. Morning. As you can see, we hit TP. Oh wait, there we go. As you can see, we hit TP overnight. I closed out half the position, like I said, about 40% of the position last night once we came down to about 3R, and let the rest run down to full volume at 5R. We hit that at 6 o'clock this morning overnight, and that's me done for the week. This may actually, before I say goodbye, as you can see, this made 1.94% in total, bringing our drawdown back to -6%, which is a slightly better position, obviously, than -8% on the account. So I'm done for the week. There is no news today on EU for London session. However, there is news during New York session, and I haven't seen any sort of entry model or any sort of entry apart from like a buy this morning for EU. However, as you can see, we sold yesterday, and I do believe price does want to come down and test this sell side liquidity, and then this sell side liquidity down here, maybe even these two draws on sell side liquidity next week. So that's going to be my goal for next week, which is why I'm not going to get into any sort of buys today during London session. It's already too late into London session for a silver bullet entry anyway. But yeah, that is what happened with that trade yesterday, and I will update you later on in the week, or I will start recording next week. Manners. Yo people, yo. I just wanted to say thank you for watching this part of episode 4, season 1. I'm about to start recording part 2, simply just because I think I already have about an hour and 20 minutes of footage. So I want to break up this Mastering the Markets episode into 2 parts, just because I don't want to upload a whole 2-hour video or a whole 3-hour video for one episode. I want to break it down into a little bit more parts, and also just so I can get a bit more footage on not footage on my channel, but upload more content to my channel. I'm going to split this into 2 parts. So I appreciate you watching this episode of Mastering faster in the market, and I'm literally just as I end this clip going to start part 2. We won a trade this morning, and you'll see that in the next video. Manners and respect.